Well, welcome to Noel's World of Whiskey. And I'm going to say somewhere between this morning and this afternoon is the time. Probably around, I haven't looked at the clock, it's probably around noon hour. Wet day outside, more of that Scottish weather here on Vancouver Island. I better start thinking of my ski pass. Going up the mountain and grab my free ski pass. It cost me something, but it's almost free. Anyways, that's what I do in the winter months. I ski, cross-country ski, downhill ski. I am going to leave the peat stuff temporarily. I'm not leaving it completely. I'm going to leave it temporarily because there's always these things that come up that change not my format, but just my calendar. And this one here is quite interesting because I was actually down looking at some peated stuff I was going to pick up at one of the few liquor outlets that are not on strike right now here in BC. And it's actually not a bad one. There's a couple of them that are pretty good. So when we lose the BCL, that's our provincial, I call it the socialistic side of our government that basically controls the liquor that comes into our province. So when I don't give them the business, I don't feel too bad really. So they're on strike. It's hurting a lot of restaurants though, a lot of businesses. So they gotta end the strike. But anyways, what has happened is I was in the liquor store looking for some things. I did find them, but then I found something else, and it just changed my whole perspective. So I'm going to start off in the old town of O'Meldrum, just west of Aberdeen. So O'Meldrum is an old market town. It dates back to the 1600s or whatever, or even prior to that. One of the oldest distilleries, Glen Garioch. Now it's spelled Glen Garioch, but this is Doric. This is a Doric tongue that was spoke for centuries in that area. So Glen Garioch is pronounced Glen Garioch. Glen Garioch is something I've been fond of. I discovered it after watching a Ralphie review and got into it, and it has been so consistent, yet I have not really done any more reviews on Glen Garioch. I think Ralphie seems to go back. There's quite a few reviews out there on the 12, and I have the 12 here, by the way, and consistent is the best way to describe this stuff, consistent. What I'm going to get into right now is I discovered something. So the first thing I'm going to pull out, of course, is the 18. Because I've done a review on the 18, and I think it's a pretty good whiskey. So we should start off and just sort of describe what this series, it was 4 of these. And the series was called the Glen Garioch Renaissance series. There was a chapter 1, 2, 3, and 4. So we started off with the 15 and worked our way up. That was chapter 1, and worked our way up to chapter 4, which was the 18. So we'll go in reverse here. So chapter 4, that was the 18-year-old. It was 50.2 ABV and non-chill filtered. I was told online that these were there was no coloring, but I've done lots of research, and when I read on these bottles, I read the words mit Farbstoff, German, and means there's color added. And there's even Danish on here, Farben Justeret Med Caramel, same thing. So there's coloring in here, but they are, and I've done enough research now, I do know that they're non-chill filtered, and at 50+%, pretty much cask strength, you don't expect them to be chill filtered. So anyways, this is chapter 4. I've done a review on it. of the 18, the Renaissance series. So, next, we are going to be looking at the 17. Now, I had the 16 and the 15, okay? What was missing was the 17. So, that's what started this whole thing, because I have never owned the 17. Some consider it the best of the bunch, but we're going to do a little taste test down, to find out, is that true? Because I was missing the 17, so I couldn't. I've done lots of 15, 16, and 18, but no 17. So what happens is we end up with the 17. So here they are, 18, 17, chapter 3, okay? So, and the 17 is 50.8%. So 50.2%, 50.8%, same old biz, non-chill filtered, but we know there is some color added. And by the way, all of these specify bourbon and sherry casks, okay? And they seem to be pretty decent casks. So, okay, what's next? What is next here? So, for the next one here, we have, of course, I believe this is the 16. Yeah, this is the 16 here. Yeah. So this one here is chapter 2. This is the 16, chapter 2. And what have I got left in it? There it is. So obviously the 16, good whiskey. Next, the 15. What do we got left in it? Well, let's find out here. Almost as much as the 16, so not bad, eh? So, we've got enough. We can actually compare all 4 chapters. So, but the first thing we're going to do is review the 17. It has not been reviewed, and if we get that done, maybe we can take a peek and compare the 4 of them. So there's your box, and it's the 17. There's all the information there, and of course this is chapter 3. So there's the bottle, 17, chapter 3, and of course it's not a whole lot of caramel added to this, E150 added to it, because it's not super dark, it's not light, it's not like Delmore. So now our favorite time, we are going to pop the cork. Are we ready? Drum roll. Good enough. Good enough for me. Cork is in good shape. Yeah, not bad. Year 1797, the start of that distillery. And I'm going to grab a glass and we'll pour. Okay, we know there's coloring in here, but this is more about the legs. Looking at the viscosity and oily texture. And there you are. So we're going to start right off after just letting this sit for over half an hour, that's for sure. Let's just see what the nose does here. Right off the bat, I'm getting something on a little danky side, maybe some umami notes. And it's almost like a vegetable, like you've got a stew. And it's not bad, but it's mixing with something aromatic there. Floral. Aromatic and floral. Yeah, floral. Heather. And I've heard that term, the purple notes, which can vary from purple berries to purple heather to violets, you know. But I'm literally going from vegetal to burnt toast. I don't know if it's peat. I think it's more, yeah, kind of maybe it's charred casks is what I'm smelling. But now the berries. I'm definitely getting the berries now. Maybe a blackberry jam, currant jam. But this is quite a nose on this here. And definitely in the background, I'm mountain heather. Let's move on. Let's get on to the palate of the 17 Renaissance Chapter 3. Salangeva. It was worth letting this sit. Good coating. It's oily. Oily and viscous. A little bit of a bite, could be the wood. I'm glad I let it sit for that one reason, you know, let it open up. The wood is not as intense then. I'm getting definitely the chocolate just came in, or maybe more of a bitter chocolate and tobacco, coffee. It's got definitely a little bit of citrus going on right now, orange, a mandarin orange, a little more chocolate happening. Let's move on to the development and the finish. We're gonna fly through this. Like I know this already, you know. Salangeva. More vegetal, more umami, more of a stew, but it's a sweet. Finish is long. I'm getting a little wood, a little astringency, tobacco, 35, 40 minutes. It's better than what it would have been if I'd done 15. But I think the wood's going to dissipate as this sits a little longer. Berries. I'm going to stay with the berries. And boy, these are getting now tart. These are tart berries. And a little bit of banana. As I keep moving on toward the end of this finish, it just keeps going on and on. Long finish. Let's add a little water to this. We'll give it the swirl. This distillery actually had to shut down. I think it was 1968. They ran out of water. And then they hired a manager to go look for water. And they found a spring in a neighboring farm. It's actually, they nicknamed it the Silent Spring. You can't hear it and you can't see it. The distilleries had a checkered past, but you got to remember, 97, and they were distilling before that. But and you know, it was obviously, you know, in those days, it didn't take much to get yourself in trouble. I mean, it had good years and it had tough years. So, okay. Just a little nose here again. Ooh, back to that vegetal note again. The stew, the sweet stew, a sweet smell. Almost a bit mixed with a little bit of a real tart barbecue sauce there. So a little aromatic. Get a little licorice now. When I say the heathery notes and all that stuff, floral. There's a garden here. Anyways, let's do the palate with water. Salangeva. It always sweetens it up. Water is amazing. And there goes the astringency. We've lost the astringency, but I have coffee and chocolate. That's what it tastes like. A little bit of orange mixed with that chocolate. If you ever get a chance, do some Lint orange chocolate, the high chocolate content, high cocoa content. It is delicious. So what am I going to give this guy here? 17. I think the 18 was an 88. Gave a little bit higher scoring back then, but by golly, this is for the ABV, non-chill filtered, $130 I paid for it. This is definitely an 88. It might squeak a little higher than that. It might be an 89. It's an incredible value for your money. This is definitely one of the best values out there right now. $138 for a bottle of this, if you can find one. Anyways, on that note, I'm just going to leave that one with you. We will be doing the 4 bottles. We're going to do the 15, 16, 17, 18, chapter 1, 2, 3, 4 of the Renaissance series, next review. And then we will get back to the peated one I promised you. I keep promising you. We're going to get that one done. Anyways, I'm going to ask you to drink wisely, drink intelligently, and do not drink and drive. Until the next time, so long, Javon.